Hey, it's Noelle Toland, and you're listening to On the Fly with Stevie.
You are listening to On the Fly.
What's up, guys? Tuesday morning. Well, for some of you, like my buddy, Mr. Pinocchio, the hitman from down under, the birthday boy this past weekend. We talked about yesterday, my co-host. It is Tuesday night? Late Tuesday night. So appreciate Pinocchio tuning in. Hope you guys had a great Monday. Another cold start. What is going on with the weather? I like what somebody said. Who turned the AC on and forgot to turn it off? Um, 35 degrees here this morning. It was a little bit cooler this morning when I said, who let the dogs out? I let the dogs out this morning. Um, Thanks for all you guys out there in the Twitter sphere or the X sphere, whatever you want to call it, for tuning in. Looks like we got a big crowd coming in already. A lot to talk about today, guys. We tried this yesterday, and I got a good response. Looked like we had a good response to it. I'm gonna keep doing it on my days off. Of course, like this week will be Monday and Tuesday. Next week it might be Monday, and later on in the week. But I'll keep you updated on that if you guys want me to keep coming around with this. Um, so, and what we do here, we do just sports, we do entertainment, music, wrestling, whatever that's going on the night before or whatever we want to talk about here while you get ready for work or while you're on the way to work, if you're lucky enough to be able to stream this on the way to work. Um, Yesterday, stopped by. We talked about Hometown Nutrition. Stopped by there yesterday at their new location in Murfreesboro. We talked about that. Great location. The ladies have done a great job decorating there, and they're always so friendly, so easy to get along with, and they will do, you know, they will accommodate your needs as far as the drinks go there. And I'm not talking about alcohol drinks, shots, or anything. They're talking about energy drinks and not the 5 hour. Like I said yesterday, this is not the 5 hour energy drinks, but you need to go check them out if you're in the area. They are in a good location. And I'm trying to pull up the the address again for you people over in this area. Let's see. 212 East Main Street in Murfreesboro. You'll find them there. Go ask Debbie Kim, and they will take care of you over there. Great, great people. Great place to get an energy drink or a protein shake. They got shakes, and they actually do waffles there too. So if you're a big waffle person, go check them out. Ah, let me say that I started talking about this yesterday. You remember some of the people that are my age? I just turned 50 this year. You remember when you were younger and you were like looking at these older people that got up so early in the morning, like 4:30 in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning. You're like, they are crazy. I will never get up that early, and I never was really that much of a late sleeper unless I was really up late the night before when I was a kid, when I was younger. It's me. I'm making fun of myself now because I've got this clock in my head that gets me up at like 4:30 every morning. Now, on days like today, when I'm off, do I get up right away? No, I don't get up right away. When I'm working, I usually get up somewhere around that time, maybe even a little earlier and get ready. Depends on what time I go into work because I go into work early. But yeah, I'm one of those people now. I'm one of those people that I made fun of back in the day. So it is what it is. I'm not gonna. I feel like I'm wasting the day if I don't. Um, so yeah, I'm up. I get some things done before before the sun comes up, and it was interesting. It's interesting to be, and I back when I worked at a prison for a couple of years. I wasn't in prison. I worked at a prison. So let's get that straight right there. And you had to be up really, really early. I mean, really early for that. So I guess I got used to that. I don't know. Maybe my internal clock is used to it now. I've got an alarm clock in my head. So last night, the NBA. Well, let's start off. Let's start off with the Hurricanes, NHL playoffs going on, NBA playoffs going on. I don't really follow. I keep up with the Hurricanes, but I don't really follow hockey as much as I do. But the Hurricanes, I do follow them. We got a lot of Hurricane fans that I'm friends with. Some get to go a lot, some don't. I know, Troy Smith, Darrell Williams, John Michael Timberlake, among a few that are diehard Carolina fans. Chris Jones, my buddy from Williamston, diehard Carolina Hurricanes fans. Last night they go into the game 2 against the Islanders. They won the first game, and they take the second game. They scored a pair of goals 9 seconds apart in the final 3 minutes of the third to beat the Islanders on Monday and take a 2-0 series lead. And I'm reading this from thescore.com. Sebastian Aho, I guess his name, knocks the equalizer with the goalie pulled. Then Jordan Martinic buried the game winner moments later. Jake Gensel scored the empty netter for good measure to secure a 5-3 Hurricanes victory. It was the fastest 2 playoff goals in the Hurricanes franchise history. It's also the fastest 2 playoff goals by any team since the Pittsburgh Penguins scored 5 seconds apart in Game 3 of Round 1 in 2018 against the Flyers. Much deserved win for the Hurricanes, who trailed for the majority of the contest despite dominate possession. Carolina finished the game with a 110-28 shot attempt advantage. I know a little bit about that, but oh well. Hey, guys out there at Twitter, give me a comment in here. Let me know what's on your mind this morning. If you got something you want me to talk about, you want to get out of here. If you're out there at Twitter, be sure to leave a comment for me. I love getting the comments out here so we can get a conversation going about something else. So NBA playoffs last night, and you guys know how I am with the so-called "I'm the greatest in the world" LeBron James. So the Lakers taking on the defending NBA champions Denver Nuggets. They already lost the first game. Lakers played good ball last night. Really did. They blow a 20-point lead in the second half. And of course, frustration sets in, especially when you blow that big of a lead against a team that good. Missed a 3-pointer. He missed, the greatest misses a 3-pointer that rimmed out with the game tied. And then Jamal Murray hits a fadeaway buzzer beater with Anthony Davis in his face to give the Nuggets a 101-99 win over the Lakers in game 2. But LeBron was ticked off, and not because of that. I guess frustration had set in really because they blow a 20-point lead. But at the heart of his wrath was a second-half foul of Michael Porter Jr. that was overturned with the league saying that he made only marginal contact on D'Angelo Russell. This is what LeBron says now. I don't understand what's going on in the replay center, to be honest. D'Lo clearly gets hit in the face on the drive. What the expletive do we have a replay center? It doesn't make sense. It makes no sense. It bothers me. He finishes with 26 points, 12 assists. I'm going to go back to this, and this will be a conversation we have on a future show. We've already talked about it one time on the Final Score, and this will be another episode coming soon, probably next week. You guys ever remember Michael Jordan blowing a 20-point lead in the playoffs? No. He's the greatest in the world, though. Don't give me this crap about he don't have anybody around him. AD's there. He's got weapons. You guys that are drinking that LeBron Kool-Aid need to lay off of it a little bit. You're getting he's not anywhere comparison to Jordan. I am sorry. I know he's 41 years old. Guess what? Jordan was of age. Well, he was older when he played for the Wizards. Played with a bum knee. Played all 82 games. Never made an excuse to stay out. LeBron, if he gets a sore shoulder or a pulled pinky nail or a ingrown toenail or something, not ingrown, I could see that, but he gets a toenail that's bothering him a little bit, he'll sit out a game or two. Give me a break. I don't even want to get into it. I'm gonna save a lot of my ammunition for this episode because I got a little surprise for my partners in crime on the final score. So other NBA results: Orlando follows to Cleveland 96-86. Cleveland's got a 2-game lead, I think now. The Knicks jump out. I think they got a 2-game lead at 2 as well with an exciting win over the 76ers last night. I know Daryl Badham, friend of the show, is a big Knicks fan, and he was excited about that. But yeah, so and then of course you had the Nuggets beating the Lakers, and they take a 2-0 lead. 76ers coach is saying that the ref ignored my timeout call before the go-ahead basket was scored. He tried to call timeout. It's always something. So what else are we going to talk about here? JJ Redick. You remember the old Duke Blue Devil, NBA player, and he's an NBA analyst for ESPN now. Apparently, the Charlotte Hornets are interviewing him for their head coaching job. He interviewed last year for the Raptors job and eventually lost out to Darko Rajakovic. Like I said, I don't follow NBA that much, guys. But, of course, Hornets head coach Steve Clifford stepped down. This would be interesting. Was this if he gets a head coaching job? Because he's one of those guys that's an analyst, and a lot of times people think, well, as much as with his knowledge of the game and everything, he'd be a great head coach. That doesn't always work out that way. Sometimes it's just like in the NFL. Sometimes you can be a great offensive or defensive coordinator, but you suck as a head coach because there's a lot more you have to do as a head coach. So JJ Redick, I don't know. I didn't like him at Duke. I'm a Carolina basketball fan, so didn't like him at Duke. But and some of his stances that he takes, I don't agree with. But it is what it is. Everybody ain't going to agree with it. Also interviewing for this job is David Alderman of the Nuggets, Charles Lee of the Celtics, Lindsey Harden of the G League, Stockton Kings, and former Vanderbilt coach Jerry Stackhouse. Wow, or among the candidates Charlotte has apparently spoken to. Stackhouse is interesting because, he did such a good job that first year with Vanderbilt. And then last year, they were not good. I don't know what the situation was with their roster, if it was a lot of loss of talent, but they were not good. They were not good at all, and he gets fired from there. So the fact that he's interviewing for an NBA job, that's interesting there. Well, maybe I don't know what I'm talking about there. Actually, yesterday, guys, I got to do my first of 2 NFL mock draft episodes. Recorded that yesterday, and it was a funny story. I'll tell you guys about this. You see this little device right here? Well, before, if you don't know, for a long time, I didn't have high speed internet. Like I said, we're in a small town, and the only internet we had was satellite internet, which makes it impossible to go do a live stream, to do like I'm doing now. So I had to have this Bluetooth recorder. I guess that's what it's called, Bluetooth recorder, to do phone interviews. And I haven't done one since we had high speed, or I've done maybe one since we've had high speed, and that was maybe a year or so ago. Um, so I get this thing out Sunday night, charge it up. It's working fine. So yesterday we recorded about 4:30 yesterday, and I'm like, this thing is not working. It won't even show up on my. It won't even show up on my computer when I plug it in. The files won't show up. So I mess with it. Finally, I called uh, my guest, who was Mr. Gaddis Hodges, inform him what's going on. And I said, "What?" He said, "Well, I don't think I've got a camera on my computer." And so we look. I said, "Well, I think you can do it on StreamYard with just audio." So I send him the link, and all of a sudden I hear him. I'm on the phone with him, trying to help him get through it. He was like, "Hey, there's a picture of me up here from somewhere." So Gaddis said I helped bring him into the 21st century. He does his first ever podcast, live podcast, not live podcast, but recorded podcast where he was on the screen. So Gaddis, we had a great time. Did a mock draft, about a 2-hour episode of the mock draft. And I won't give away anything because that'll come out later this week. We are, like I said, we will do a live mock draft Wednesday night with myself, Matthew Bazemore, the newly elected mayor of Giantstown, and then Eric Sawyer. How about them Cowboys, Eric Sawyer? So we will do that this week. I saw something yesterday afternoon, late yesterday afternoon, right before we recorded. Zach Wilson got traded from the Jets to the Broncos. The Jets finally found a sucker. Yeah, Henry Ford, I'm talking about your Broncos. They traded. Remember now, the Jets picked this guy the second overall pick in the draft, and he's had his moments, more bad than good. He's had a few moments where you could like, oh, maybe he's got something, but then he comes back and you see, and you're like, no, he doesn't. So, second overall pick from 2021, traded him and a 7th round pick to the Broncos for a 6th round pick. And the Jets had to agree to pay half of Wilson's remaining salary just to get the Broncos to agree to that. Bronco fans, what are y'all thinking about your quarterback situation? Because right now, I think you've got the worst quarterback room in the nation. Let me look. I had it up here too. Jarrett Stidham, Ben DiNucci, and Zach Wilson are your quarterbacks. You think you might be getting a quarterback in the draft? I think so. Here's an interesting story, too. Do you guys realize the 2021 draft, there were 5 quarterbacks picked in the first round. 4 of those 5 have already been traded to another team for day 3 draft picks. Let's go down. Of course, Zach Wilson, number 2 overall pick, like we said, and his 7th round pick to the Broncos for a 6th round pick, and then half the salary had to be paid just to get him to agree to that. 49ers trade number 3 overall pick Trey Lance to the Cowboys for a 4th round pick. The Bears trade number 11 overall pick Justin Fields to the Steelers for a 6th round pick, and that could become a 4th round pick if he gets a lot of playing time. The Patriots traded number 15 overall pick Mac Jones to the Jaguars for a 6th round pick. The only first round quarterback that's still with his team right now is Trevor Lawrence. He was the number 1 pick. Hasn't lived up to his expectations, but he's no doubt the best best quarterback out of that draft class. But yeah, 4 out of those 5. That goes to show you, dude. And look, last year, look at Kenny Pickett. The year before last, he's already gone. So, and that's one of the things we talked about in the when me and Gaddis recorded yesterday. Quarterbacks have a lot shorter leash than they used to have back in the day. There's not a lot of patience with these teams for quarterbacks anymore. They want they want production and they want it quick, or they'll get rid of you. All right. So, last night we released on the Fly released our episode 130, our Ozzy Osbourne "Bark at the Moon" album review. Me and myself and Joe Decker. Check it out. It is out all over social media. I have not shared the links yet because it was kind of late last night. We did a premiere on YouTube. It wasn't live, but we did the premiere on YouTube. And like I said, this will be the first in the series. We will be doing this maybe not every week, maybe like every other week, where we take an Ozzy album and review it. And then once we get through with the whole studio album discography, we will go back and rank the albums and give our top 10 songs. So Bark at the Moon, of course, the first album after the tragic passing of legendary guitarist Randy Rhoads, and the first album to debut Jakey Lee, which was a good thing. A lot of stories behind the scenes that we tell about that. Of course, Sharon has some stuff going on there too. But yeah, just a great album, and you guys make sure you check it out on the Fly anywhere on Spotify, Podchaser, Apple, Good Pods, wherever you listen to your podcast at. Check us out. Give us a 5-star review if you don't mind. Past guests of the show from year. Well, actually, I don't even think it's been a year since we've had them on the show. But one of our, just two special people to me that they're more than just people that are guests of the show. They're friends now, and I've never met them face to face. Annie Vander and Brian Mullen. Annie Vander had a post last night. Evidently, a new song coming out. Annie Vander called "Rockin' My Shoe." So be sure to keep your eyes open over there. Brickshore Media. Have to throw a shout out to Nicole over there at Brickshore Media because she does a great job giving me guests, and I appreciate all her help that she gives me all the time with this stuff. So I am more than appreciative of Nicole and everybody that comes on here from Brickshore Media. So Annie Vander, Rocking My Shoe. Brian's got some. I can't let the cat out of the bag yet. I can't let the cat out of the bag yet. But Brian has something coming as well. So you guys get ready. There's going to be some good music coming out that you probably, and these are up and coming artists, guys, that I promise you, if you like Annie, Brian, Molly Lovett, Noel, who's been a frequent guest on the show, they're all Brickshore Media people. You need to, Andrea Vasquez, you need to check these people out and give them a chance. They make some great music. Just like Tame and Sorry with Warren. Give these guys, Ridden by Wolves with Michael Murphy, who's been a past guest show. Check these guys out. I promise you, it may not all be your cup of tea, but give them a chance because these are up and coming people that are working their butts off to make it into business. So give them a chance. See what you think. All right. I can't help but keep going back because this story keeps on coming back, and it is so funny. I don't know if you guys saw it. If you haven't been on social media. But guys, the Saturday Night Live skit, one of the funniest ones I've seen in a while, with Kenan Thompson. He's doing like a town hall meeting and there's a girl, I can't remember her name, that's doing that's hosting it and asking him questions. And all of a sudden, you look behind him. Ryan Gosling was the guest host that night, and he looks just like he's dressed just like Beavis from Beavis and Butthead, and it distracts Keenan. And they finally move Beavis, and then there's another guy that's a regular cast member show that goes in behind him, and he's dressed just like Butthead. If you have not seen it, they break character on that show, and this is like probably as far as moments when Saturday Night Live broke character, great moments like that. This is probably number 2 for me, right behind gosh, Debbie Downer, the Debbie Downer Disney skit. Guys, I'm telling you, I laughed so hard at this, and I haven't really watched a lot of Saturday Night Live. There's some of the stuff up there, I always say if I don't agree with something, I don't like it. I don't complain about it. I just stop watching, and that's what I did with Saturday Night Live. I would see some clips here and there that were okay, that were funny, but this one right here is the funniest thing I've seen on Saturday Night Live in a long time. But yeah, so be sure you can find it anywhere on social media now. It's all over the place, so check it out. Major League Baseball. Let's go up here and check the scoreboard because I think my team's had a pretty good day yesterday. I think. Yes, my team. Looking at some of the scores, and I'm not going to go through every score because I know that would bore you guys. Yankees lost. The Yankees got shut out by the A's yesterday, 2-0. One of the funniest things that happened in that game, because I'm not a Yankees fan at all, but it was so wrong by the umpire. Aaron Boone gets ejected, but Aaron Boone's ejection was a case of mistaken identity. Batter gets hit during the Yankees game against the A's. Umpire Hunter Wendelstedt warned Aaron Boone that he would be tossed if he made any more comments. You see the video. Aaron Boone said, okay. He didn't say anything else. And all of a sudden, just seconds later, he gets ejected. Boone was, of course, and with good reason, angry, arguing with it. And he argued that a spectator was responsible for the remarks, which was right there on video. And the umpire said, I don't care who said it, you're gone. That's not usually how that works, but, Aaron Boone, understandably, he's upset, and he said he called the ejection embarrassing and plans to discuss it with MLB. This is what the umpire said. Aaron Boone is the manager of the New York Yankees and responsible for everything that happens in that dugout. I don't want to eject a ball player. We need to keep them in the game. That's what the fans pay to see. Aaron Boone runs the Yankees. He got ejected. And he goes further on. He said, apparently what he said was there was a fan right above the dugout. This isn't my first ejection. In the entirety of my career, I've never ejected a player or manager with something a fan has said. Well, you did today or yesterday. I understand that's going to be a part of a story or something like that because that's what Aaron was portraying. I heard something come from the far end of the dugout. It had nothing to do with his area, but he's the manager of the Yankees, so he's the one that had to go. The 52-year-old veteran ump admitted he has not seen the replay when he spoke to reporters. Everything you said is exactly kind of what was communicated on the field. That's what Aaron said. He said that a fan said it. A fan said it. I said, I don't care who said it. It's foolish to throw out a player if you don't know who did it. The manager's there. Aaron took the hit, and he probably, is not the one who made the comment, but once again, he's the manager of the Yankees. He's responsible for the team. Okay. Let's just go ahead and tell you this. I can't stand the Yankees. I would pull for anybody against the Yankees. But, and this goes along with any sport right now. These referees, umpires, whoever, this power they have, you're going to feel like a fool. This umpire, he probably right now, he should feel like a fool right now after he saw that and these comments he made. You don't make comments like this without watching the video first, without seeing all the facts. I mean, it's one thing to do it during the game. I can understand that a little bit, because it's getting kind of heated. Things are going to get set, and you wait to make comments like this till after you've seen the video. All of these organizations, the NBA, the MLB, the NFL, the NHL, they need to, instead of, and one of my pet peeves with the NFL has always been they make a bad call and then they come back, and it's a lot of times it costs the team the game. Then they come back on Monday. If it's a Sunday game, they come back on Monday and say, oh yeah, guess what? We made a mistake. That shouldn't have been called. Sorry. That's like a slap in the face. I would rather you not even tell me. You just say, okay, don't just let it go. Because guess what? You're not going to change the outcome of the game. You're not going to change anything about what happened in the game. You're not going to go back and replay that play and see where that from that play on and replay the rest of the game. So just shut up about it and punish that referee or that umpire. Do something to him. Hold them responsible. Have a great – I don't know what kind of grading system you have. I heard somebody say, well, if they get graded and they don't get the playoff games or the Super Bowl or the World Series or the NBA Finals, if they don't make the grade, guess what? You're not hurting them. These guys are part-time guys. I mean, MLB guys are probably full-time guys. I would think they would have to be full-time guys to go for the travel and stuff like that. And maybe NBA, but NFL referees, they've got jobs. They've got good paying jobs. So, they're looking at this as like a hobby. Like, okay, I'm gonna get to referee an NFL game. And I know there's talk about, they've done some full-time referees for the NFL, but if you don't have some way, I guarantee you, if you had some way to grade them, or if they get graded every week, and some kind of consequence besides not getting the choice games came from that, then you'd probably see a different outcome. I don't know what the answer is there as far as how to when they make a bad call that's verified by the league. I don't know what the proper thing to do would be, but you need to do something about it, because they're not worried about it. When they make a bad call, you think they're worried about it? No, it's over and done with. It's not going to affect them. It affects that team. It affected Aaron Boone. Does he get? I don't know if he gets fined for being ejected. I think it's his second time already ejected. Does he get fined for that? I don't know. I mean, you're reaching into his pocket, which I'm sure it's like chump change what he would get fined, but you're reaching in his pocket. Maybe you need to start reaching in some of these umpires' pockets. I don't know. Orioles and Braves yesterday. Let's see. Braves get a shutout win over Miami 3-0. And the Orioles late last night with a win over the Angels 4-2. Orioles take over first place in the AL East. They've won 10 out of 13. Pretty good. I'm looking at the see where the Braves are right now in the MLB standings right now. Hold on. Atlanta is in first place. They've won 8 out of their last 10. They're a game ahead of the Phillies right now. So, yeah, looking pretty good for the Orioles and the Braves right now. I know that's who a lot of people pull for around here. Let's see what is next. Gene Simmons from Kiss. I don't know if you guys saw it. And now, where is my story? Gene Simmons was on American Idol this past Sunday night. He was a mentor. And one of the one of the contestants he worked with was Loretta Lynn's granddaughter, Emmy Russell. Now, I remember I haven't watched much of American Idol, but I'm a big Kiss fan, so I kept up a little bit with this. But Emmy Russell, he worked with her, and one of the things they said that the judges have said the problem with Emmy was she needed to come out of her shell. People were saying she needs to go back to songwriting and all this stuff. Um, she can be timid, and she has been open and emotional about dealing with this thing so far. Um, so Simmons comes out, and she comes in, and he said, when Emmy came in, I immediately saw the tightness, which is your enemy, by the way, because on stage you will wilt like a flower that hasn't been given water. And this guy, I mean, you think about it, whether you like Kiss or not, Gene Simmons was around for 50 years in the business, still going, but he was with Kiss in the Kiss for how many concerts you think he played over the years. So he knows. To help remedy that, Simmons shocked her with a yell, something he said was meant to bring her out of her shell. And he also drew an emotional reaction for her, too. He said, "You've got a great voice. I can't sing like that." And Emmy said, "I've read the comments. She should stick to songwriting. She can't sing like her grandma. So when Gene told me he liked my voice, it was really validating." And she sang Bonnie Raitt's "I Can't Make You Love Me," which is a great freaking song. Bonnie Raitt has got a distinctive voice. I love her voice. Luke Bryan tells her after the performance, the realness of your voice is so listenable. I mean, I have full body chills, and we have singers coming up here dancing and belting songs through the roof. But the realness and innocence that you are able to do week in and week out is your thing, and it's very, very special. Lionel Richie also told her that was great. Katy Perry said, "Emmy, you're not competing against any of those people. You're competing against yourself, and tonight you won." So apparently, Gene Simmons needs to be now that Kiss is through, uh, Gene needs to maybe be a mentor, maybe help some of these people with these up and coming singers. Because evidently he got something out of her. I mean, that's pretty cool. Pretty cool to see um, the demon helping folks. NFL news, guys. There was a lot of talk after the Super Bowl last year. Kansas City Chiefs winning the Super Bowl. Andy Reid may not be around much longer. Well, yeah, they started negotiating deals, and yesterday they were extended. Kansas City Chiefs announced Monday that they've signed head coach Andy Reid, GM Brett Veach, and team president Mark Donovan to contract extensions. Let's see. I don't know what. I think it's going to make him the highest paid coach, and it keeps him around till 2029. Patrick Mahomes goes on social media responding to the news, "Yes, sir," and has a strong arm emoji. So looks like we're going to have that juggernaut for the Chiefs around for a little while. So, and definitely, I mean, Andy Reid has a chance to become the all-time winningest coach in the NFL, and deservedly so. I mean, say what you want to about the Chiefs. You may not like the Chiefs, but Andy Reid is a class act. Always has been. He's a good coach too. He put up with a lot of crap in Philly. Had good teams, just couldn't get over the hump there in Philly. But it was nice to see him get that Super Bowl win, and the success he's gotten. Excuse me, is great to see. Tuesday morning drive, guys. You guys out there, Twitter or X, wherever you want to call it, give me a shout up here. I want to hear somebody from Twitter. I don't care what you say, just let me know you're out there, because I've got 11 of you out there in Twitter right now. So somebody, I'm gonna do like the old DJ there. Somebody scream! Yeah, that wasn't good. Birthdays today. Only got really one birthday today from on my end. I'll put it that way. John Branch, the Hammer, and I won't get into why he is called the Hammer, but Yeah, John Brandt's a good old friend of mine. Think a lot of him. So John Branch, it is his day today. I don't know how old he is, but I'm sure he's not as old as I am. I'll put it that way. Let's see. On this day, April 23rd, 2016, Bruce Springsteen salutes the recently deceased Prince by opening his show in Brooklyn with a rendition of Purple Rain. Niels Lofgren takes a guitar solo. The E Street Band will wear purple for the show, deviating from their usual black. 2005, YouTube launches. It works so well that Google can't beat it. They tried with something called Google Video. So in 2006, they buy it. It eventually becomes the most popular place to hear music for free. On this day in 2002, Kenny Chesney releases his sixth studio album, No Shoes, No Shirt, No Problem, featuring 5 top 10 country singles, including the hit title track. First album for him to hit the country and Billboard 200 charts. Let's see. 1971. On this day in 1971, the Rolling Stones released Sticky Fingers, which includes Brown Sugar, Wild Horses, and Can't You Hear Me Knocking. It's the first album released on their own label, the Rolling Stones Record. And on this day in 1936, the late, great Roy Orbison is born. Looking through other news. On this day in 1988, Whitney Houston's Where Do Broken Hearts Go hits number 1 on the Hot 100 for the first of 2 weeks. It's her 7th number 1. Let's see. 1996, on this day, Hootie and the Blowfish released their second album, Fairweather Johnson. It doesn't approach the 21 million in sales of their debut Crack Rear View, but still sells an impressive $3 million. 2001, Metallica start recording their album Saint Anger, which turns into Some Kind of Monster. If you haven't watched that documentary, check it out. It is a great documentary there. Frontman James Hetfield ends up in rehab during the sessions, and the band only completed with the help of a psychologist who talks them through their issues in group therapy. I've watched that several times. Also, the first studio album after the departure of bass player Jason Newsted. Gosh, I'm getting old. I couldn't remember that. I love some Jason Newsted now. Let's see what else we got here. Let's go to on this day in 1983. Come On Eileen. Remember that song by Dexy's Midnight Runner hits number 1 in the U.S. It's the only American hit for the English group, but they are far more successful in the UK, where among their hits is the number 1, Gino. I've never heard that song. 1977, on this day, Thelma Houston's disco play Don't Leave Me This Way, originally recorded by Harold Melvin and Blue Notes in 1975, hits number 1 in America. 76, on this day, the Rolling Stones, they had something for this day. Released their album Black and Blue, which contains Fool to Cry and Hot Stuff. I'm not familiar with that one. On this day in 1960, the late, great Def Leppard guitarist Steve Clark is born. Stephen Maynard Clark at Sheffield, England. On this day in 1956, Elvis Presley plays Vegas for the first time with a 2-week residency at the New Frontier Hotel. He returns to the city in 1969 to launch his comeback. What a great that comeback special. My mom is a diehard Elvis fan, and I have listened to that. One of my favorite songs that he did on it was Memories. I just love that song. But he had so many that comeback special was so great. He looked so cool. And that's going to do it for this day in music history. What else we got to talk about? Monday Night Raw was last night. Kind of I don't know. I didn't really get into it. They had the women's battle royal to make the new women's world champion, which Becky Lynch won. And I guess the WWE went to her because there was a lot of rumors talking about that Becky was going to take some time off, with Seth taking some time off. Becky was going to take some time off, but after Rhea Ripley gets hurt, I think they probably talked her into it, to staying around for a little while, and giving her the belt will surely do that. Santos Escobar and JD McDonough take on Ricochet and Andrade. Damian Priest kind of throws some, I guess, dissension in the ranks with the Judgment Day. Apparently Dominic there's an injury bug going through Judgment Day, because Dominic apparently has a legit injury now. Damian Priest saying, I don't need you guys, you need me. So apparently there's going to be a wedge, and it looks like Liv Morgan is going to try to get in Dominic's head and say, I'm your mommy now, not Rhea. So that should be interesting there. Chad Gable has his Alpha Academy out, tells them the reason he turned on Sami Zayn, and said, you're going to do whatever it tells the other three, you're going to do whatever it takes to get me the Intercontinental belt. Sheamus gets a win over Shinsuke Nakamura. I guess the little push Shinsuke got is over. He's going to be kind of a mid-card jobber now again. Sheamus and Drew McIntyre have a little back and forth. McIntyre's talking about Sheamus's body weight now, because he does have a little gut on him. He said it wasn't bangers. It was burgers for you, which was pretty funny. Drew is on fire right now as a heel. New Day beats the Imperium. And I don't know the names of the guys from Imperium. I know Gunther is the head, and then these other two guys are there. Kaiser and Vinci. Evidently, Kaiser turned on Vinci, and he's out of Imperium now. And then he goes backstage, and Gunther looks at him like he's a proud dad for doing what he did. But New Day gets the win over them. Awesome Truth defends the tag belts against DIY. After the match, Gargano shakes hands with Truth and Miz, but Ciampa elects not to, and he storms to the back. So there may be some more dissension in the ranks there. Jey Uso and Damian Priest have a little back and forth that JD McDonough gets in the middle of, and cost Damian Priest a super kick to the face from Jey Uso. Let's see. Really, it was okay. Raw wasn't the greatest. It wasn't one I was like, oh my gosh. So before we get out of here, we're not gonna go for the 2-hour show. First of all, before we go, you guys let me know what you think of doing this morning show like this. Give me some comments, give me some feedback. If you don't like it, please, do I want you to tell me you don't like it? Yeah, I want some constructive criticism. I try to get a little bit of everything for you guys up here. Excuse me. I realize some of this stuff is not everybody's cup of tea, but we talk about a little bit of everything. As far as I'm not getting into politics on here, I'm getting into sports, entertainment. That's it, and we'll talk about our views on that. But no, I'm not doing politics or anything like that. But yeah, give me some ideas. Tell me what you think, and if you like this I'm gonna put both of these up on our YouTube channel and on the podcast channel. So this will be another episode of On the Fly. Because we're talking, we'll put it on the fly, and maybe next week when we do our ones next week, we'll do that on the Final Score. Just switch it back and forth, because we're talking about a little bit of everything up here, guys. But before we get out of here, album suggestions, what you guys are listening to, and if you want to, let me see if I can pull up the one with my email. Do I have one with my email? I tell you what, if you want to, you can email me at the Final Score Entertainment at gmail.com, or you can just on Twitter, message me on Twitter, message me on Facebook. Let me know. So give me 5 albums. 5 albums you're listening to right now, and I will put them on my album challenge list because I'm looking for new stuff to listen to, and I'll listen to just about anything. I haven't really got to jazz or anything like that, but and I'm not that much into rap. The new rap, old school, yeah. But give me some ideas, guys. 5 albums. Give me your 5 albums out there that you think I should listen to. And check it out. And this is a poll we're going to do. We're going to leave you with this. And some of you may not be fans of these guys, but I'm a fan of these guys. Motley Crue, the better album, Shout at the Devil or Dr. Feelgood. Both have great hits on it. I got started, my Motley Crue fandom started with Shout at the Devil, but Dr. Feelgood, I mean, what can you say about Dr. Feelgood? This is a tough one right here. So this will be maybe a future episode with me and Joe. Better album, Dr. Feelgood or Shout at the Devil. Give me your feedback on that. Like I said, guys, we're gonna have these we're gonna have these on the podcast. Wherever you follow your podcast at, you'll be able to go back and listen to this. Shout outs to my ladies over there at Home Time. Kim, I hope you're feeling better today. John Branch, Hammer, happy birthday, bud. I hope you have many more. I hope you never catch up with me. And guys, that's just going to do it. I hope you have a great Tuesday. Back to work. I will not be here. You will not see me again in the morning till probably next Monday. So if you like what you see, let me know. Like I said, you can check me, send me messages everywhere. Email me, message me on Facebook, Twitter, wherever you follow me at. Send me a message. Let me know what you think. Let me know about your 5 albums. And we will see you next time on this is the Tuesday morning drive, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Hope today is, for you guys out there working, hope today is short and sweet for you. And we'll see you next time on The Fly, Triple Threat Main Event, and the final score. See ya.